Happy nearly Christmas. Today we are talking Christmas cards. Well, not just talking, we're making Christmas cards. It's the time of the season to save a lot of money and come up with some simple ideas that we can do ourselves at home. All you'll need, a little bit of folded watercolour paper, or one piece for each card, obviously. And then we're going to create 3 different and simple ideas. We've got some holly, a simple winter landscape, and of course a robin, which is one of my favourite Christmas things to sketch. For each idea, if you check the link below, there's a free post on my Patreon which has got the line work, the finished card example. So as well as this video, you can sort of use those as a reference to make it a little bit easier to copy or be inspired by the ideas I'm showing you today. Without further ado, let's dive in. So our first idea is this, our Christmas holly, we're calling it. Now holly's a lovely subject because it's got interesting shapes and lovely colours. So the starting point, you can see the reference, as it were, top left corner. What we're going to be doing is doing some very light lines first. And I'm using a very fine fountain pen, but you could use a very fine liner, like a 0.1 or 0.2 millimeter fine liner. And we're just looking for simple shapes. By no means do they need to be perfect. And we're looking for both those green spiky leaves and also those little red beads, the little fruit, which are going to come in, of course, underneath. There are important things within the leaves. The sort of veins, the dividing line which goes up the middle of the leaf is really key. And getting an overlapping feel to your leaves as well. So just having these simple shapes, little spiky shapes coming out and overlapping with each other, even if it doesn't totally make sense, will instantly make things more interesting. Having got these sort of initial shapes and got the veins, the dividing line running down as well, we can start the kind of next step of our process, which is just crisping up the lines. Here I'm going to use a really bold pen. This is equivalent to a sort of 0.8mm fine liner, or even a bit bolder than that. You could use a few day pen. And I'm just trying to make the leaves be a bit more interesting, a little bit more abstract, and also suggest a bit of light and dark. These bold lines are the beginnings of me suggesting some shadow. Now, with this amount of bold, I'm kind of overselling the point, I admit, but doing something a little bit bold like this will help your colours. For me, it's about having a bit of fun, which is why I want them so bold, becomes more abstract and more interesting. A little bit of hatching as well gives you that light and dark feeling and makes it easier when we come on to our colours. Now with our colours, it's all about being loose and flowy. So I'm using a really big brush. This is a size 16 brush on a very small piece of paper. And the colours are really simple. I've got a pyrrole scarlet, I've got a cobalt green, I've got a little bit of yellow in there, and I'm splattering and splashing them around. Notice these wet on wet movements when we touch in the colours. See how the colours soften and move around. That is the effect that I'm after. And that's as quick as the card can be made, a couple of minutes. And this very simple idea can come to life on your page. It's that flowing movement which is vital for this idea. Now, the next one's going to be a bit more controlled, which might be very pleasing to some people or worrying to others. But the key here is to clean our palette so we get that control. And this will give us these crisp and clear colours, which is the beginning of our next little, we're calling this a simple landscape, little winter landscape. Now, I'm going to be mapping out on my page or blocking out on my page with some washi tape a small square. This square helps to create a crisp frame on the page. It keeps you centered on the page, and you'll see when we take this off, it's a really lovely effect. So maybe you might want to give this a go, but it is a bit of an optional step. Now, just like before, notice the lines very similar. We've got some light lines and some bold lines. I'm just inventing a hut which is coming on a lane towards us. Nothing crazy, and really simple ideas and shapes for me to imagine from my limited creative imagination capacity for inventing scenes. notice that I'm taking my time a little more with these lines as I'm trying to work out, well, how much perspective do I want? How much shape do I want? And I'm also going to keep the continuous line going by drawing on that washi tape, which is another great way of just keeping the looseness going, at least for me. The road coming towards us is really important because it tells us a story, it draws us in. The technical term, I think, is a leading line, which draws you to the focus. And for me, having a little snowman, just 3 circles, one on top of another, is a fantastic little addition to any simple winter landscape, especially if we're trying to create a little kind of kitsch card for our friends and family. Next, these bold lines. Here, we've got more obvious places for shadow. The edge, the curb of the road, under the eaves, in the windows. And hopefully you can see here, these lines, although they're a bit abstract at times, they also give us a lot of purpose. And with our simple colours, they already give us a lot of that light and dark. So we can make our cards much more quickly, which is great if we've got loads to make. So putting the ink away, we can get out our colours. Now, a wintry sky, at least in my part of the world, has a very cold, cool feel. So this is where I'm using a little bit of lavender and a little bit of cobalt blue, both relatively cool blues, to create that kind of soft and gentle feel. And I'm adding a slightly warm brown in here. This is actually a little bit of lunar earth, just to get that softening, kind of almost sunsetty feel from the low angled sun that we also get in winter. Now, I want to not quite fill my sky, but get it almost filling that lovely frame. And you can see on the top left the crisp effect that gives if we allow that to happen. This does require us to use plenty of water. So although this is a tiny scene, I'm using a small but not tiny brush. This is about a size 6 to 8 brush that I'm using at the moment. Now, in the foreground, I want snow. Snow is not completely white. Often it's not white at all, but it certainly has shadows. So using these same kind of sky colours just to create little shadows can give us that feel of snow. Now the road serves another purpose here as well. I can drop in some greys onto it and it just gives us a little bit more purpose in that foreground. Here you can see not quite happy with how that brown had worked in the sky, so I'm having a play whilst things are still wet, just like with the holly, lots of wet and wet effects. We can move things around, we can drop in other colours, we can lift out colour and water, and here just lifting through that sky. Notice how we get rid of lots of that grey colour, we get lots more of that light back, and it becomes a much softer feel. The key here, the big message, is you'll only be able to achieve this if you use enough water. And you do have to work quite quickly as well, but not really fast. It's mostly about being aware of how much water is on your page. And these simple bits, the sky, the little gentle shadows on the foreground, they are kind of, for me, what really makes a scene feel like a snowy, wintry scene. So taking our time, yes, working quickly, but also not rushing, taking our time in terms of decision making is really important, I think, in getting these scenes feeling authentic, feeling really like a lovely winter scene. At this point, it's just about then seeing how much more we feel we should fill in. There's little bits of greenery that come out in winter, so a little bit of green is okay to add, and it gives us little punches of colour, of contrast, of saturation. And then just at this point, kind of fiddling. Do we want our snowman to stand out? Yes, of course we do, just a little bit. Do we want some deeper shadows, some deeper contrast? So again, just picking up a bit more of that neutral and popping it down into our road. All very small and very gentle touches. Again, look, that's too much, isn't it? But because we're using plenty of water, we can come back, lift things out. No need to redo this whole card. Just be aware of your watercolour processes. Don't put on toothpaste thick colours, put on colours with plenty of water so that there's a bit of recourse for change if you need it. Again, I want a little bit more shadow in the foreground to give us a bit more of a suggestion of that snow. So coming in finally with a few little touches of lavender mixed with some of that brown I used at the very beginning, and that starts giving us our neutral and helps us to build up more and more of that contrast. As a last little fiddle here, just because I did fiddle with the colours quite a bit, we've lost some of the crispness of the line. So I'm coming back on top of my page, just adding a couple more inky lines, and that will slightly flatten the image, but it will make it a bit more bold, a bit more illustrative. And I think I'm happy with the decision I made here. I think these tiny little ink touches really do just make it stand out a little bit more. And from there, we are done and we can unveil the magic. So if we gently peel away that masking tape or the washi tape, and you can see just doing it slowly, carefully, making sure it doesn't rip the paper, what we end up with is this crisp little scene, both crisp in the sense of the outline, but also crisp in the sense of lovely, cold, clear blues, giving us a nice and wintry feel. Now, if this kind of scene you really enjoy doing, then you can check out my Patreon, where I've got an extra scene in this video, but also coming up in a week or so, maybe 2 weeks on YouTube, just before Christmas, will be another load of simple landscapes like this one done on cards. However, for today, let's move on and do something a little more silly, a little more live, a little more fun. We have my annual Robin sketch. Now, it's a tradition which probably only I know, that every year on YouTube I've done a different Robin sketch, and it is one of my absolute favourite things to do. You can see top left corner, the line work as a little reference. The same idea as what we've been using. Some delicate light lines mapping in those initial shapes, and really just think of a robin as simple shapes. It's kind of like a big circle or a couple of circles stacked on top of each other. Nothing complex at all. Within that, we then have the sort of wing sticking out the back, little feet sticking out the bottom edge, and the shapes are very simple. It doesn't really matter if the proportions are a bit wrong either. The bird and the colours that we'll use are so characterful that if you end up with a skinny robin, a fat robin, a wonky robin, it will look great. And if you just have a Google of Robin Christmas cards, you'll see loads and loads and loads of different interpretations, which hopefully can give you a bit of confidence that your interpretation will also be grand. It will also be absolutely fine. As you can see, we've got our shapes on the page, so we're just starting now to think about kind of internal shapes and internal textures. How much detail do you want there really? How many feathers do you want to suggest? And a bit of hatching again to start building up the idea of light and dark. And you'll notice in all of these scenes, the watercolour's been very quick because we do these simple, slightly bolder lines with our ink. And that means our colours don't have to do loads of work. Our colours are just there to bring it to life, rather than us having to work and work and work our colours and end up spending hours on every card. These little neatening up touches as well, these slightly bolder lines, give us flexibility. So as long as you keep those lines really, really light at the beginning, you'll find that you can come back with these slightly bolder lines and just correct things a little bit. Just don't overcorrect things too early. If you overcorrect things too early, it becomes a mess. But if you come back later, a few little bold lines can work wonders to create that sense of light and dark. Also just to correct shapes if you feel that they need correcting a little bit from your initial inking. As ever, check out the link down below and you can just copy my line work if you think this would be something which would help you a bit. Now, the colours. So by now, hopefully, we are au fait. We are on the same page with making it very loose, keeping it very light. So a little mix of red and orange here to get our Robin's classic and very important breast going. But we're not going to just paint that and keep it just in the shape or even fill that whole shape. Notice we've got little bits of white around the edge. And I'm just going to move quickly on and get the sense of a blue shadow. So Robins have got this sort of grey blue breast underneath. And then we can come back and start getting variety, dropping in our colours and letting things just be a little bit quirky and fun. Robins have this kind of almost grey brown or blue brown sometimes back, or I'm going to warm it up and keep it nice and orangey brown here, using a little mix of Indian red and lunar earth for that texture. Now, I'd really encourage you not to feel that your colours have to sit within those shapes. So purposefully at this point, keeping your page wet, perhaps start bringing the colours just outside. So notice how splatters can help do this. A little bit of water, we can smudge that red, the blue, the brown, can all just leave the confines of our bird. And this again brings a bit of life, brings a bit of fun, stops us trying to make things too perfect or too exact. Using exactly the same colours, I decided we could have left this branch blank or as negative space, but I thought no, it'd be interesting if we just build up the colours a little bit more. Again, notice how dropping in these colours here, the breast of the robin is still wet, which means we've got flexibility. We can come in and touch the colours, move the colours around, neaten them up, or the opposite, loosen them up. Here you can see I'm bringing the colours to the edge of some of the shapes just to neaten it up a little bit, and that lets me be a bit more laissez-faire elsewhere. It lets me be a bit more flexible elsewhere and have those colours jumping out of the chest. Into the wing, I want to start getting a bit more of a sense of light and dark, so I'm just starting to mix in a little bit of indigo with those initial orangey browns that I used. And things have dried here, and you can tell that from how this simple layer becomes much more intense. And sometimes having that layering effect rather than wet on wet actually gives us a bit more control and does help us get that light and dark a bit better. There are loads of things we could keep doing, but again, I'm probably now realistically at that little bit of a fiddly stage. And when we're fiddling, we're not sure what exactly we're adding to our scene, especially in this looser sketching style. It's really important to decide you're probably done. I think this is pretty much the stage I'm at now. What we do notice perhaps is everything's a little bit flat, splashes, a tiny bit more of a shadow as well. Shadows, of course, can only come from 3D objects. These things add dynamism and contrast onto the page, but I don't want to keep fiddling with details. So, having done that, sign my initials and feel content with my annual Robin sketch and Christmas card here. Thanks for watching. I hope you have been able to make some of your own Christmas card ideas. I've got another video like this coming out, which will be simple winter scenes also on Christmas cards. And if you want slightly longer, slightly earlier versions of these videos, check out my Patreon, which is also where you'll find the line work. Anyway, I'll leave you in peace. If you like this, do hit the like button, the bell and the subscribe. Lots of things to do. And I'll see you in the next one.